I am starving. Where is that pizza? Who is it?
I got a delivery here for Miss Tina Turner.
It's about time. Would have been faster if I made the damn thing myself. Pizza! Ike, what are you doing here?
What the hell it look like I'm doing here, Ida Mae? Thanks to you and that sack of lies you call a movie, only job I can get now is delivering these damn pizza.
Serves you right.
You know, that's just kind of non-gratitude attitude I expect from somebody like you.
Here's your $8. Now get lost.
$8? $8, Ida Mae? All you give me is a 30-cent tip?
I'll give you more than that if you don't get your ass on out of here. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. I did not order anchovies.
Ida Mae, everybody know a pizza ain't a pizza without no damn anchovies.
I did not order anchovies.
When I met you, you know the difference between a pizza and a corn dog. Now look at you.
Don't start with me, Ike, okay?
Ike Turner taught you everything you know about pizza. And what I get in return? Huh? A 30-cent tip and some non-gratitude attitude.
I said don't start with me, Ike. Now look, Ike. Ike Turner, what are you doing here?
The hell do you mean, what am I doing here, Ida Mae? I'm delivering them damn pizzas. That's what I'm doing. What? Oh, now first this Buddhistic chant, and now it's all this sign language? Oh, you gonna cut my head off. That's what it is. You don't want to meet the real Ike Turner up in here, do you? You want to meet him? You knock on the door. You can meet him if you want. Ike Turner, ladies and gentlemen! Ike Turner! Ike, man, I didn't think you were going to be here till next week.
Nope, this week.
Ooh, gotta start reading them memos. Look, we were just doing a scene, but we're done now. We're finished.
Nope, according to my script, we only half done.
You have the wrong script.
Yeah, that's the long one.
Yeah, everything's changed.
Oh, that's all different. It's all different now.
Let's go on.
Man, you sure look like Tina.
Thank you, but I'm not.
You look like Tina, though.
Shut up. I'm Deborah Wilson, and in fact, this is the part of the sketch where Tina, played by Deborah Wilson, grabs the pizza and says, "See ya, wouldn't want to be ya."
So then what happened?
Then me, Ike, then I say, look here, Ida Mae, I want you to enjoy that pizza, because I continue to deliver pizzas to all of the less fortunate people of the world, because...
Man, you know what? You got a lot of nerve coming on national TV playing me.
Ike, man, I didn't want to do it. They made me do it.
But don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I think you did a better job than Larry Fishburne. Yeah, at least you didn't get me beat up in the back of a car.
Thanks.
In fact, I'm working on a strip right now, a one-man show called Give 'Em Hell Ike, and I want you to play me.
Gee, Ike, I don't know what to say.
Don't call me Ike. Call me Mr. Turner.
Yes, sir.
You know, now the way I see it, you and I can write this script together.
Oh, that was unexpected. Let's go. Yes, and that was unexpected. Hiya, folks. I'm Lorenzo. Usually my comic book son Marcus is here, but he has some stuff come up, and I'm doing this thing solo today. And every week, with or without Marcus, is brought to you by the Alternative City Shop.
I not only love reading indie comics, but I've self-published several indie comics of my own. You can find them on my Alternative City Shop, which has a link below this video. There, you'll find, along with my comics, t-shirts, stickers, and now you can pick up digital comics, including Ninja Bunny Assassin #1 and #2, which are both out of print. You find pins and magnets that are called CBOs, or comic book originals, which are buttons, magnets, and pocket mirrors that I make from superhero comic books.
Yeah, buddy. You know it. So, hey, pick up those things from the Alternative City Shop. You have been hypnotized. All right, so, man, this is me. A little bit wider of a screen. Got a new computer and a different camera and looking all different. You can see everything in like the fishbowl or the kind of whatever you call that kind of cinematic kind of a look and everything. So a little bit more of a view, but not much to see. So good to see everybody in the chat and everybody watching on the replay. Shout out to those watching on the replay. Thanks so much for stopping by. And who do we got here? Let's see. I've got my man, as Marcus would say, my flavored whiskey buddy who hates flavored whiskey, 80s guy. Good to see you, sir, as always. And the lovely Janet. God bless her. I don't know what I'd do without her. You're amazing. And the man with the coolest name in the world, Mr. Larry Love, the creator of the Quiet Storm and the DJ Yo Mama Love. Yes, sirree. Good to see you, Larry. Thanks for stopping by. Who else? Well, looks like that's it for now. Hey, that's all you need. We're pretty good. We also have a guest later on. It's going to be I.S. Fergus, who is going to talk about his new book that is on Kickstarter. It's fully funded, but we all know about all the stretch goals and all that stuff. So never too much funding for these independent projects. So man, that's usually have a little chit chat between Marcus and myself, but I'm just going to get right to the stuff. I can adjust the camera with. I kind of like this though. I don't know. I kind of like I might crop it out a little bit, but this is kind of like it makes the room look bigger. I feel less claustrophobic, I think. So we'll see about that. We'll see. I don't know. Right now I'm drinking tea. Larry, I'm drinking is what is this? This is rosemary tea made from fresh rosemary from the garden, which my lovely wife tends very, very lovingly, and we got all kinds of herbs growing out there, and just make all kinds of teas and stuff like that. And man, good stuff, and it's very good for you as well. All right, so now I'd talk about this week in the world of comics. Not that I know of. I haven't seen the Fantastic Four movie just yet, but I got that on the agenda for next week, most likely. So I'll be checking that out. So, man, let's get right to the stuff that I picked up. Where? Oh, yeah, here it is right here. Everything's in different places. All right. I'm going to be dropping all things Ultimate, probably because I just want to focus really on the indie comics. Ultimate series, especially the Ultimates, this one here, is a really good series. All the Ultimate series are pretty good. I had to drop Black Panther and X-Men before just because of the numbers thing, but this is probably my last issue of the Ultimates. Gonna catch up on it after I drop it. Other Ultimate issue is Ultimate Spider-Man number 19. I'm a little behind on this one too. Don't really like this cover that much though. I don't know. They had a Mary Jane cover a couple issues ago, maybe one issue ago. It was a lot nicer than this one. You know how Marvel is. You have one thing, and, oh, you like that thing? Here's that thing again 10,000 more times till it comes out your ears. You know, they just keep putting Mary Jane. She's almost more overexposed than Wolverine to this point. But any hoozle. Out of Alcatraz, number 5. This has been an awesome series by Christopher Cantwell, and Tyler Crook is the artist. I didn't have high hopes for it, but it's been very, very good. This what if story about the guys that escaped from Alcatraz, what if they have survived, and the stuff they got into. And man, it's an amazing, fast-paced issue series. This is the last issue of it. And who do we got? They got Santos Sisters. I was talking about them last week, and I noticed that they last week in the preview they had like kind of Greeking for lettering instead of actual words. Now to replace that with actual words. And this, I was wondering if they were going to go with that for the cover, but I guess maybe that's just for, I don't know, for a gag or something. But the Santos Sisters is always good for some laughs, man, in that classic Archie style. And the thing that me and Marcus really, really love is what's the furthest place from here? It is back. And this is the A cover. It is also on the thumbnail, if you notice, for this week from Tyler Boss and Matthew Rosenberg. Lucky Devils. This has been away for a while. Frank from Danger Room left a message on the email saying what was going on with the delay, but I didn't get a chance to read the email today. I was like, really, as many Wednesdays are, they're very hectic for me. I didn't get a chance to check it out, but Lucky Devils number 4 has finally made it out, and it was off to a good start. I'm going to have to read every issue all over again to catch up because it's been so long since this issue came out. The last issue came out, I should say. New from Mark Spears' Monsters, which is going to be an ongoing series. Mark Spears ain't going nowhere. Mark Spears' Monsters number 6. I'm pretty sure this is I get that light out of the thing here, but I can't seem to do it. Oh well. Mark Spears, this could be the first time he's actually drawn Vampirella, if I'm not mistaken. So I had to get this issue. Man, this guy has got so much talent. He's amazing. A lot of people will like him. A lot of people don't like him so much, but hey, that's pretty much life, huh? Another penultimate book is Gehenna, Naked Aggression. That Gehenna review that I did, the What's Good I did featuring Gehenna, was really blew up. Usually my What's Goods don't do super well, but that What's Good was exponentially more viewed than most of my reviews and my What's Goods by Patrick Kindlin and Maurizio Rosenwig. And that was a really action-packed issue. I recommend this book if you love action-packed comics, because this is one of them. You dig? Coming down to the end is the war of northern aggression. Actually, this is the war that ends all wars. This was actually in the first issue of Hello Darkness. Those compilation books, those anthology books are going to be sprouting. They're kind of like pilots, I guess, for TV shows. A lot of books are going to come out of those anthologies, and this is one of them from Garth Ennis. So I'm looking forward to this about the war that ends it all for all of us. Perish the thought. And the last thing is from a few weeks ago, but I only got my Comic Tom limited variant. And I don't really want to read that one because it's kind of cool, and I want to mess that one up. So I bought a regular copy from Danger Room, and this is Planet Death. It looks pretty good, and there's a preview in the back I want to talk about later on that's going to come into play. So stick around for that. Shameless plug or teaser, whichever you want to call it. All right, so we're coming down. Somebody else came in here. Oh, Sorge Forge. What's happening, Sorge? And what does he say here? I got the 1 in 10 war cover today. Ooh, yeah, that's the cool one. Oh, that is nice. That's the black and white, I think, with the skeleton and holding up the cell phone in front of the mushroom cloud. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'll look for that one too. I haven't had a chance to look for anything on mycomicshop.com today. Because very often they have those 1 in 10s, those 1 in 25s for a pretty reasonable price. And you can find those deals at mycomicshop.com because those are the books that a lot of the comic shops, the LCSs, they may have them, but they have to charge a lot of extra for them because, they that's just how it goes, But my comic shop gets so many of them in, they can sell them for reduced prices. So, man, that's what we got so far. So we got a few minutes before our guest comes in, so I guess I can still a little time here. So it's going to be happening, I guess, is I'm going to be dropping a lot of I've dropped a lot of books already. I dropped everything except the Ultimates and the Absolute Universe mainstream books, which will give you more fundage for one thing, and more time to actually devote to reading these books. I got so many books that I'm behind on. I mean, I want to read them all. People send me books and stuff like that. So I've been asking, please don't send me any more books. I just can't handle it. So I'm going to be hopefully getting back on track and catch up with all the books that I need to read, and focus mainly on the indies, which is really my focus here. It's like the last few weeks, if you notice, I've been not featuring any mainstream books in the thumbnails if I can help it. I mean, there's like a cover that blows me away. I'll put one in there, but otherwise, I'm trying to focus strictly to indie books because there's enough people already talking about the mainstream books, and I'm literally one of the few indie voices out here that's just talking about indie books, and I want to get some more time to have some more time, I should say, to focus on finally doing some art projects myself. So I can't do that if I'm like stretched all over the place, and I'm reading everybody else's stuff, especially mainstream stuff. The big two. I mean, DC's making some good stuff now, but Marvel is just if something good comes out, like right now, I'm into the world to come. The world to come, just to see where the hell this crazy story goes. And I read number 2 already. I want to talk about that today, but maybe stuff like that I'll pick up once in a while. But the main thing is going to be indie comics. I'm gonna get maybe back into accepting more submissions if people want to send me some stuff to review. That's fine too. But right now I can't. I don't have time for any of that. So I'm going to claim my time back and just focus on the indies, and that's it. And I know I've said it before, but it's happening. It is happening. This week on my FOC order from my comic shop, 3 books. I was so proud of myself. Only 3 books. So I was just like, yes, it's happening. It is happening. It's gonna happen for sure. So that's what that spiel is all about. That's the name of that tune, as Beretta used to say. And it looks like our guest is here. I think I may have everything lined up for him. Let's see here. I want to share the screen. I should have put that link in. I will put the link in. Let me see if I can do it in the chat here. I'll put the link in the chat, but I will also put the link in the description of this video after the show is over. And there it is. All right. So this is the link to I.S. Fergus's book. And we'll be talking about that presently. See, let me share the screen here real quick. Dun-dun. Let's see, this one? Yes, this one here. There we go. This is the Kickstarter, as you can see. It is live. And there is a trailer. I'm going to run that trailer real quick.
Chinatown. Finally closing in on my suspect. I just have to find someone who knows what kind of hole a rat like that would crawl into. Combo 6. Coming up. If I'm looking to find some unfavorable characters for hire, where should I be looking?
Well, Chinatown has its fair share of unfavorables, but you can never go wrong looking at the red velvet. But I'd be careful. Whoever you're looking for may also be looking for you.
As much as I need a hot meal, I know when it's time to go. I can't believe how fast I've been targeted. This has already spiraled faster than I would have expected. My cover's definitely been blown.
All right. All right. I'm informed by the lovely Janet that was not, in fact, a link to his Kickstarter, but it was the wrong link. But I'll figure it out later on. Hey, Naman, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Missed you in the chat there. What's happening? All right, just going to bring on Mr. I.S. Fergus right now.
Hey, Lorenzo. Thanks for having me.
Hey, what's happening, man? How you doing?
Doing well. How you doing?
Fantastic. How do you prefer to be addressed? IS or
IS, Fergus, whichever. Yeah, whatever works for you. Whatever works for you. I've been called Fergus a lot, but IS also works.
Cool. All right, so refresh our new viewers and myself, which I haven't read the book for a long time, and Janet put the right link in there, and there's a right link. I don't know what I'd do without her. There's the right link. Children of the Night, Volume 3, Brothers. So tell us a little bit about Children of the Night, Volume 3, Brothers, that you have going on, and the history, if you want, of the entire series.
Absolutely. No. Again, thanks for having me for such short notice. It's
Sure.
always great coming on here. Yeah, for sure. So Brothers is the third volume in the Children of the Night saga. It's a 4-part saga, so it has a very definite beginning and end. So we're at the penultimate issue here. It follows Detective John Black. He is a detective who's kind of investigating what's seemingly a pretty normal case, the kidnapping or disappearance of homeless or destitute children, and it kind of starts spiraling out of control. A big element of the story is John's past. Before he was a detective, he was part of like a government militia that ended up disbanded because most people were like boo on government militias, and so they disbanded it. And so this story also doesn't just follow this investigation he's on, but it kind of follows the ramifications of the type of person who would work in that line of work, who would be open to joining a government militia that was basically, judge, jury, executioners walking around kind of making their own calls. And how does that type of person become a detective who's looking for the most fragile or the most vulnerable of our communities? Who's more vulnerable than a homeless child, right? So how does a force to be reckoned with become this person, and how does that past follow him to his workings today? It's we've had volume 1 and 2 that have kind of opened that door and shown the start of the case, and the story's kind of told not only as it goes, but also through flashbacks. So there's a lot of flashbacks of what was his past and how does it affect the current day, and how does everything kind of relate to one another. Without giving too much away, a question that we get to answer in this volume is, who was John? Even before he was part of this militia, even before that, what type of person wants to become that type of person? So that's a lot of that gets answered in this volume as we kind of start leading up to the end here.
Okay, so is he kind of like a Judge Dredd kind of a character? Is he like
that? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, kind of a thing. Okay.
That is the great way to put it. I truthfully, this story is like an amalgamation of some of my own favorite stories across different mediums. Dredd, honestly, being one of them. I actually never saw the original Judge Dredd with Stallone there, or read any of the comics, truthfully. My bad. But the movie with Carl Urban, Dredd, I loved. And so there's definitely elements of that type of exactly that. They get to make their choice of who gets to live, who gets to die. They get to decide what's a crime, what isn't, what's worth putting someone down for. So there's definitely elements of that. Like I said, it's an amalgamation of some of my favorite stories. So of course, obviously immediately off the bat, everyone always goes like, wow, I see a lot of Blade Runner in this, which is it's very true. It's very inspired by Blade Runner. Dread. There's also elements of like The Watchmen. The Watchmen's one of my favorite graphic novels, and there's some of that in there. And even the weird things like the Fallout video games. I was a big fan of Fallout 3 and Fallout 4, and I find myself replaying Fallout 4 and being like, I think I think I was subconsciously inspired by this game in certain elements. A lot of it's kind of peeking through here and there. But really, of course, all of this kind of put together is driven by the album called Skull and Shark by a synthwave artist, Laserhawk. I kind of formed this story while listening to that album. And so every kind of track title kind of relates to a chapter title or a volume title. They're all titles from the from that album. And it was a big inspiration in building this. And so each chapter has like a recommended track, like, hey, go listen to this track on this album. And I actually got to talk briefly with Laserhawk and get his blessing on, let's say naming the chapters. I'd obviously write the story regardless, but just being able to take those titles and being able to use them for the chapters, and being able to say, hey, if you want to listen to something, listen to this, and having his blessing on that was obviously a huge deal.
Yeah. Wow, that's pretty cool to have your band immortalized in comics.
Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty cool because it's honestly, I get a lot of feedback on that. Honestly, I know it's not an entirely unique idea. I know that there are some comics out there that have kind of like a soundtrack or an accompanying album, but it isn't completely common. So I do get that feedback quite a bit, that it's really interesting to read the comic alongside listening to the album. It's just a synthwave album. It's instrumental, so there's no lyrics or anything. So you're not like reading one thing and hearing another, But
Yep.
it really kind of sets the tone. One of my closest friends, when he was reading it for the first time, he said that the first track and him reading the first chapter lined up perfectly somehow. And obviously some of the longer chapters, the tracks might not match up, but somehow that first track and that first chapter it started and finished at exactly the same time. So it's pretty cool.
Where can I find Laserhawk's music?
Pretty much anywhere. I found him online. Like I know he has a Bandcamp, Spotify,
Okay.
anywhere you get music. Laserhawk's available. He's a fairly big synthwave outrun artist. He like, I was actually shocked when he responded to my email when I was like, hey, I'm making a comic, and the fact that he responded was like, oh, sounds cool, let me check it out. That was a huge I was like, whoa, he's it was pretty cool to have that moment and to get to chat with him just a little bit there.
That is cool, because a lot of times when I'm reading comics, I'm always looking for music to listen to while I'm reading, because I don't want to listen to like stuff with, like you said, with lyrics in it that are completely different than what's going on in the comic. It's so distracting. I look for some instrumental stuff. Like there's a show called it comes on X-Ray FM called 80-Pound Cardstock, and they have like experimental music, like synth wave and new age and stuff like that. And I love to find something that's like lyric free, that's kind of flows. That you can kind of go with anything that you're reading. So, yeah. So I'm gonna look. So I don't know a lot about a lot of the new bands that are out there. A lot of my stuff is from like the 70s and before. But I would look for Laserhawk just to check this out and read at the same time. Very cool, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I highly recommend it. Like I said, this story really came to be. I used to obviously, back in days, sometimes like train to work, and you're on the train listening to music, and I would sit there and just listen to this album over and over again. And I originally had an old idea for a story a long time ago that I never really did anything with, and just listening to this album over and over again, I just slowly formed this idea of a story, and it really inspired me. It really inspired me. I originally planned it as a movie, to be honest, but then I kind of wrote it out and I was like, this is a $50 million movie, and I happen to not have $50 million, just unfortunately. But and I personally, I had been writing for some time, but my usual medium beforehand was like short stories and a little bit novellas. But I was a big comic reader. I've always loved comics, but I never really stepped in that world. And once I kind of like looked at this script of a potential movie, I was like, I think I need to turn this into a comic book. And getting to work with an artist and really helping, seeing him bring the visuals that I've been, sitting on for some time, having him help me bring that to life. I was like, you know what? I think I like writing comics. I think it's a pretty cool and fun experience. So, I had originally been a bit of a sci-fi short story writer, and so getting to do this brand new medium in comic books has been a huge it's been a great pleasure and really exciting. And I think it has been able to reach more people and grow my name as an author as well.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of your artist,
Yeah.
what's their name is Ipo?
Yeah,
How you pronounce that?
Apple. Yeah, Apple Sepulo. He's
Sepulo.
so coincidentally enough, it was funny. I was tuning into your show a couple weeks ago. You had W. Frank on, and
Uh-huh.
just by happenstance, his comic as well is Ippo is the artist for that comic as well. And I was like, oh wow, what a coincidence. We're working the same artist. Super talented dude. I love it. The more work he can get, the better.
Mhm.
Indonesian fellow who's just absolutely talented. And I couldn't have asked for a better artist to work with to like I said, bring something that's been in my head to life. I like to do some art on the side. I like to doodle sometimes, but I also know my own limitations and know what I can and cannot bring to life. And
Yeah.
getting to see this. It's been amazing. It's been an honor, even though obviously working with Apple there, we've been obviously I'm paying him for his time and everything and making sure that he's well compensated, but I still feel like it's almost like a blessing, you know what I mean, in the sense of just like, wow, it's real. He's helping me make it real. So it's been awesome.
Yeah. He was a great artist.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. Absolutely. Very vibrant colors, which is perfect again for the cyberpunk sci-fi world. And he's been I guess I like to brag about the art because it's not my own art. If it was my own art, I'd be like, this is the worst. But
mhm.
I love the art because he is so talented. He's really able to bring those bright, vibrant colors that you would expect, but as well as the dark, grimy dirt of like what the dystopic cyberpunk city holds. So yeah, there's a lot going on there.
Oh yeah. Ooh, that very cool. Yeah, a lot of
Absolutely.
inspirations there. Blade Runner,
Yes.
and the other, the sci-fi influences on your writings than those folks.
Sorry, that one skipped a little. Would you be able to ask that again?
I would say, are there any more like sci-fi writers or creators that may have helped you and helped
Yeah,
inspire
on
you to do this?
yes, yeah, absolutely. So yeah, as I said, like Watchmen, Alan Moore is like,
Mhm.
probably one of the most influential writers that, I love him as an author, great work. But other authors as well that have inspired me, kind of random ones like Kurt Vonnegut has been a oddly inspiring story. I wouldn't classify him too much in like sci-fi, yet he has a lot of sci-fi elements, like one of his more famous books being Slaughterhouse Five.
Mhm.
It's a war story really and a history story, but at the same time, for those who read it, obviously know there's a lot of sci-fi elements and aliens and time travel. And it is it's incredible story, I should say. But yeah, he as an author has played a big influence in storytelling. Like I said, a lot of this story, a lot of Children of the Night, the whole saga is told through flashbacks. That's a big element of the story writing of, uh, John Black, who's the private investigator. He's, doing XYZ or looking into XYZ, and you might be going, what? Who is this guy? Why is he doing this? Like, what is he doing here? And like as you can see from the trailer you played, like he's immediately just shooting a guy in the head, and he's like, okay, bye.
Yeah.
He's kind of a shoot first, ask questions later kind of guy, but
Yep.
it's not done in a way that you're like, wow, that's a cool guy. Like as you read the volumes, like in volume 2, he runs into an old friend, and his old friend is like, you were a bad friend. Is what it kind of comes
Mm.
down to. Is they were like, you've lied to me in certain ways, or once the folks read volume 2, you'll know that conversation. It's pretty abrupt, but it's that to me is it's very human. And so those flashbacks going back to his life to be like, who is this guy and how do you become that type of person, is really those types of flashbacks. I seem to also come from like Slaughterhouse 5, where he's not really doing flashbacks in Slaughterhouse 5. He's kind of unstuck in time. So, you know, say what you want because it's a time doesn't really make matter in that book, but that story is really influential in the way that you kind of get to see the main character in Slaughterhouse 5, Billy Pilgrim. You get to see his life kind of out of chronological order and how he becomes the person he is and how he acts the way he is. That was really influential here, where it's like, who is John Black? Why is he the person he is? I really wanted to expand on that. When I originally wrote that story, when, I tell you the story where I'm sitting on the train listening to headphones, it was a pretty cut and dry story. And over the year, I wrote it and kind of sat on it for a bit. And over the years, as I've rewritten it, I've really expanded on it and really added more, I think, to my myself into the story. And as I've developed as a writer, and I've written kind of other short stories in between me originally writing the story and now me rewriting it as a comic and reworking on it. And during my rewrites, I really put a lot of myself into the story, and I added easily like 50 additional pages throughout the comic from the original script that I had written. And originally it was really cut and dry. Hey, John Black is a detective. And later on when I did my rewrites, I wanted to really ask that question: who is John Black and why? Like, why is he the man that he is? And also apologies, I talk with my hands, so I'm slapping my mic by accident. My bad, audience, my bad. But
Okay.
yeah, that's
The same
really
thing.
the sum of it. So it's an exciting, very violent kind of story. You might start to clue into who done it. It's not really a who done it. It's more of a why done it. You start to figure out pretty quickly. Some people have figured out by like page 3. They're like, I know exactly who the villain is, and that's not really. It's totally cool that you know who the villain is. I think the big question is why, and again how. Just like John Black has a flashbacks leading to who he is. So does the so-called antagonist of the story. I really wanted to explore that human element and how does a person get from point A to point B, and so that really gets told in this story.
Cool, man. And I love stories that have the kind of anti-hero, this because not everyone is Superman, not everyone is Captain America, not everyone is this pure-hearted individual. Even though he's saving children, right? He's like
Yeah,
going out there and rescuing children from bad people. Sometimes this person has a past, or this person is
exactly.
not always, not always a good guy. Like his friend says, like who among us is, So I like the complexity that you talk about when you write a character like that. I think that's more important to me than having just a very defined good and evil. Either you're a good guy or you're a bad guy. Sometimes not so good guys can do good things and vice versa. This world's a very grayscaled world. If you look at it, it's very nuanced. So I think
Oh yeah.
that's something I love to see in writing, in movies and in comics and everything else, man. So that's something you've done a very good job on here.
I appreciate that. I really appreciate that, and I'm glad I sat on it for a bit. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
think a younger me, when I originally wrote that story, if I had started making it a comic back then, I think it wouldn't have been as satisfying as a story. But I think now, kind of looking into it, it really opens up a lot of can of worms. And just like you're saying, you start to see the good in the bad and the bad in the good, and start to be like, okay, I guess they're all people.
Yeah. That's the thing. That's your life experience has like shown that, you know what? It's not always just an open and shut kind of a thing. There's just more complexity to it. So very nice. Very nice.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, it's exciting. I'm excited to get this in folks' hands, and this is the third one. So now that we've kind of got the ball rolling, I'm excited to start answering those questions, because now's the time. We've asked a lot. Now we got to start answering and kind of fulfilling it for our readers there. And yeah, I'm excited, and excited to get it in folks' hands there for sure.
Okay. Are you Canadian?
I am Canadian, yeah. Is my accent noticeable?
No, I just noticed that there's
Yeah.
Canadian funds on there. I just thought about,
Oh,
okay.
gotcha. Yeah,
We,
no,
we, we love
I asked
Canadians here, man.
that.
There's no shade to Canadians, man.
Yeah,
Like, this is-
no.
this is
It's so
definitely
funny. My day job, I work with quite a few Americans, and at one work conference, folks who didn't know me, I was just kind of chatting with a few, and I said
Mhm.
something. I don't know. I think I said about or house or something, and this guy
Yeah.
whipped around. He's like, "You're from Canada," and I was like, "Whoa!" But yeah, absolutely.
Um,
I am from Western Canada, so I'm from the Vancouver area.
nice.
Yeah, so I believe from our last conversation, you're West Coast as well, right,
Yeah,
Lorenzo?
yeah. We're both out
Yeah.
here on the west side of the map. Yeah. You're in Vancouver.
There we
I'm in
go. There you
Washington.
go.
So you're just south of me. That's
There you
very cool.
go. Beautiful. Absolutely. Yeah. So it's cool. And I'm excited because the team I get to work with is a pretty international team, actually. My letterer is from the USA, my artist from Indonesia, my editors in the UK. So
Wow.
it's a pretty international team that bringing together, and I'm excited about it. Like, I'm working with, like, in my opinion, some of the best people. Obviously, there's, I'm not going to say they're the best. I'm not going to, but I for this project, they're the best people to work with me. I really am excited about the team. They're awesome. And like I said, just like the artist, working with a great letterer and working with an editor that can, go through my work and clean up some of my typos, and again, help me bring my vision to life is amazing. What was once just me behind a keyboard is now, four people working on the comic, as well as additional artists. I have a few artists doing the poster designs, and I actually, if you go to the Northridge Studios YouTube channel ever, there's even an animated trailer that we got. Fur Animation did a whole animated trailer for the series. So yeah, I'm working with a bunch of people to bring this to life and to bring some really cool art and some really cool designs to people.
Oh, wow. You got posters and T-shirts. Are any of those part of the stretch goals, or is some of the?
Those are all there. I actually don't have any stretch goals. We're just kind of just trying to get as much as we can funded, just to, as I'm sure these making a comic is an expensive endeavor and a time-consuming endeavor. So really, we're just kind of trying to get what we can to get stuff printed, get stuff edited, get everything done. But yeah, no stretch goals this time. I actually
Okay.
had a cool idea. I think next time I'm gonna get some skateboards. I know that's crazy, but I
Oh,
think it's
wow.
very cool. So
Hmm.
yeah, and I actually wanted to throw out to you and your audience there. If anybody from your audience does back then gets a physical comic, if you message the Northridge Studios and they're like, "Hey, I watched this on the Indie Comics and Review channel," or Lorenzo recommended this, we'll give you a free T-shirt or poster. So whatever,
Wow.
if you see a design and you're like, "I want that T-shirt" or "I want that poster," back the comic and we'll give you one at no additional cost. We'll toss it in there, and so you can throw something cool on the wall. Not the metal poster; those are very expensive. But
No
everything else,
posters.
I will give you for free.
Yeah. Cool, man. You heard it here, folks. So you want a T-shirt? Mention the show. It'll happen.
Yeah, T-shirt or poster, the 11x17 designs. Yeah, and like I said, there's some really cool artists. Max Bertolini is the artist for the front cover of the whole run. So it's that main poster there where John kind of stands in front of the skull. That is by Max Bertolini, who is an incredible artist. He's worked on a bunch of projects with you know, just a bunch of projects all over. But yeah, we've worked with a bunch of artists to bring this to life, so it's pretty exciting.
Wow, that's very cool. Oh, that's the one right
Absolutely.
here. Okay, this is the one.
Yeah, that's the one
Yeah.
by Max
Okay.
Bertolini there. And
Cool,
yeah,
man.
like he's I think he's doing a run right now called I think it's called like Nathan Impossible or Nate Impossible or something like that, but it's with a Dark Horse, I believe. So really talented artist, and that's personally one of my favorite designs there. And once the series is done from volume 1 to 4, it's never going to be printed as individual comics again. Once the series is done, we'll only print it as an entire collection, as a whole graphic novel, with that being the front cover. So if you do back and you get these comics, they are technically collector's items, because once we're done kickstarting the whole saga, we'll never print them like that again. So it's a good time to get your hands on them.
Yeah, and then you come back and do a Kickstarter for the graphic novel, right? For the
Yeah,
trade paperback.
exactly. For those
Yeah,
who didn't get them, yeah.
nice. Very cool, man. That's very cool. That adds to the collectability of the single issues.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Oh, wow. This looks great, man. All right,
I
so
appreciate that, Lawrence. I know you're looking at a lot of comics all day, every day, so I always
oh my
appreciate those kind words.
god. Oh my god, yeah, yeah, yeah. I've seen many that coming from like some big publishers that don't look this good. So this is definitely a winner
Yeah,
right
I
here.
mean, I don't want to throw shade, but have you seen Frank Miller's recent work? I mean,
Yeah, poor Frank. And I don't know if
I
he's
don't know.
I don't know if he's doing that on purpose or he just can't draw anymore. I don't know. I mean, maybe he's just like, hey, I'm gonna be avant-garde. I'm gonna do this in this style here. But maybe he's
Yeah,
just having a hard time drawing. I don't know. It
I
could
don't
be.
know. I saw the argument that someone was like, "No, no, no, the art's good. He just needs a better colorer." And I was like, "No. No, I'm sorry.
Mm,
Not
yeah,
not in my personal opinion. If your opinion is different,
yeah. I mean,
yeah.
he's had a few. Like I've seen a couple that would come in, like with variant covers, and okay, that shows flashes of the old Frank. That's
Totally.
what it used to be. But you think about it, Frank's had a long, hard life, and he's from one of those old OGs from the
Oh,
'70s.
yeah.
So started
Yeah.
way back with some of the late '70s with some of the legends. So he's lived a life.
Yeah, he's got some time behind him, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I think he's lending his name to like this publishing company, Frank Miller Publications or Frank Miller Presents, where he was having some books come out under that not that I guess it'll be an imprint, I guess. So he's probably trying to sponsor new artists, but yeah, yeah. If he was trying to make a living now as Frank Miller, it would be a whole different story without the juice of his past work. But man, this is
Truly,
great stuff.
truly. Well,
Are
again,
you?
yeah, I appreciate that. Appreciate the kind words for sure. I wanted to make sure I really did vet quite a few artists. I vetted even very talented artists, but just ones that didn't match the style. If that made like ones that I'd be like, well, I'll work with you on a different comic, but just I didn't know if they could. It just didn't vibe with this story. So yeah, working with Apple here has been awesome for sure.
It depends on the type. If you're doing like a slice of life book or something like that, you can do a different kind of artist or a superhero action book or a detective story. It calls for different portrayal many times. So you made the right call. I think that's for
Thank
sure.
you. Thank you. Absolutely.
Are you a sports fan at all?
No, not really, which is which
That's okay.
definitely bothers some people. It's just, from Vancouver.
Mhm.
If you tell people you don't watch hockey, I tell you they
Oh,
look at you
you watch
funny. They look at you
hockey?
funny. I'll tell you
Oh my
that.
god! How dare
Yeah,
you not
they're
watch the national pastime?
yeah,
Yeah.
the one hockey game I watched, there was riots after. So,
Wow.
this was like 2012, I think it was, when Vancouver was at the like the final. I don't even know if that's right. They're at the final, whatever it is, and I was like with people, and we're like, let's watch the game, and I was like, I guess, and
Yeah.
and then we lost. I say we, the Vancouver Canucks lost,
We
and
all
then
say
the
that as
town
fans.
rioted. It was a riot.
Oh,
And
it's literally a riot. Oh my
it
God.
was literally a riot. It was literally the Canucks. If you search it, the Vancouver Canuck riot, it was insane. And it was actually funny. Years later, at my day job, one of my friends was like, "Hey, you remember that riot?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Look at this video." And it's this like kind of viral video where a dude got hit in the nuts with a tear gas canister. And I was like, "That's you.
Yikes.
That's you." He's like, "Yeah, that's me." And so and that was interesting to see. I was like, "Oh, I didn't realize you were the guy who got hit." So
Whoa.
yeah, that's as much sports as I know. Is I watched one game,
Wow.
there was riots and someone got hit with tear gas. So
In the
not too
nuts.
much of a sports guy.
If you could pick a place to get hit with a tear gas with anything, it would not be in the
Yeah,
nuts. Well,
yeah,
yeah, man.
exactly.
Woo, boy, oh boy. I tell you. On that note, thanks for coming in, IS. I appreciate you
Of course,
coming in and
man.
talking about your book. Updating it on great success. It's already funded, but you can never have too much funding with these things. So I'm going to leave there's a link in the chat. Thanks to the lovely Janet, and I will put a link in the description after the this thing finishes, and I'll put it up on YouTube. So man, that's
Awesome.
anything else you need to get out there?
That's all. I almost pulled the Porky Pig. That's all, folks. But that yeah, that's all. No, again, if you do want to check out the comic, and even if you were planning on checking out the comic, and you're like, oh, I don't need a free blah blah blah. If you don't, if you want one, just let me know. We'll get you one. If you're coming from this show, I'm happy to say thank you with a free T-shirt or poster. So yeah.
Wow. You are the man. You are the man, Arias. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, sir. And yeah, we'll see you next time.
Absolutely. Good to have you on as always. Great success to you.
Thank you, sir. You have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye. Well, that's a cool dude. Man, that's awesome. Hear that, folks? This show's got juice. So if you want to get you a free T-shirt, let the man know, and back the book nonetheless, because it is an amazing story. So man, that's pretty cool. No, it doesn't love sports. Not everybody can love sports. It's not a big deal. Us sports people are a different breed sometimes. The Venn diagram that crosses sports and comics sometimes doesn't always meet, but a lot of us, like 80s guy and myself, are part of that. Marcus, another one that loves sports. Cool. All right, so as the sun starts to set here in the Pacific Northwest, I'm going to do the what's good for this evening. And there are some good things for what's good. If I can get the thing going here. Let's go with the what's good. All right. We are here. We are in the mix. Let's go with the first thing here. First book I want to talk about. I've talked about it a lot. I'm going to keep talking about it. Battle Beast. I'm sorry. Don't get it twisted. Invincible Universe Battle Beast. Because you look for it under B, you won't find it. You have to look for it under I. Just look for it under its proper name. And it is, of course, written by Robert Kirkman and the art by the great Ryan Ottley. This makes this thing. Colorist is Annalisa Leone, and Russ Wooten is the letterer. Oh, number 3 here. Number 3 in the Battle Beast series. Let me dig up the old video here. I happen to have one, perchance. In this issue, Battle Beast is still headed toward his captors, or I should say the guy that he's captured, and is heading toward his home to find Battle, which someday, hopefully, end his own existence. And on the way, he is constantly being trying to be outsmarted. The AI of the ship and his prisoner are trying to figure out ways to kill him before he gets to his destination, and nothing is working. On the way, he runs into this this squadron of people or just beings who are trying to attack the ship. AI puts him out on the wrong side of the ship, thinking that he'll be at a disadvantage. But oh no, Battle Beast finds a way, and he just starts to annihilate pretty much every one of the ships that are attacking the rocket that he's in. And Ryan Otley's art, man, you can see all the detail here. You can see he just revels in the madness, in the chaos that is Battle Beast. This man was born to draw stuff like this. I mean, I think I'm sure of it. I'm just no thinker. I know he really gets off on drawing this kind of a thing because he looked so forward to doing this Battle Beast series. So now the Battle Beast finishes this battle with the attackers in those spaceships. You can see the guy right here who his prisoner is like, he's only got part of his body left, and Battle Beast put him in this like exo armor or skeleton thing that's like a female exoskeleton thing. And when the Battle Beast returns from slaying all the, you can see the debris out there in space just floating around. When Battle Beast comes inside to just take a break in between battles, he tells the guy that okay, now if you guys try this shit one more time, it's not going to be pretty for you guys. It's not going to end well. So they finally figure out, okay, well, we just head on to your planet, and as they're circling the planet about to land, the guy's like, "Oh my God, I'm home, I'm safe," and this is they're going to be so glad to see me. They're met by this giant like Godzilla-like or Rodan-like creature, which just knocks the ship in half and blows it to bits. So now the ship crash lands on the planet. Everybody is in disarray. Everyone survives the landing, but there's a lot of shit coming after this that I want to talk about. If you're reading the book, you've already read it and you see it. This is the David Nakayama cover here. The very kind of a not really a what do they call those things? It kind of is the uniform color, but it's very different in David's kind of a way of doing things. And there's like about 6 different covers, and this is my favorite one. Battle Beast just rules, man. It rules, I tell you, it rules. As Beatles would say. Battle Beast number 3. If you're not reading this, you love comic books. They're really filled with violence and humor at the same time. This is for you. Next book is also a former Penultimate Book. Actually, is it from last week? Maybe it was last week, the week before last, forget which. It was called The Voice Said Kill. And this is written by Cy Spurrier, art by Vanessa Del Rey, colorist is John Starr, and the letterer is Hassan Aswani Lahu, one of the biggest letterers in the business. And this one here, man, the art is really dark. I mean, literally dark. I mean, you can look at the colors and see how they incorporate this whole darkness of the Louisiana. Say that 3 times real fast. The Louisiana bayou into their artwork. And there's this like a wildlife refuge, and these people down there are kind of like park rangers, not really police, but they kind of keep the law because they're always alligator poachers and people like that working down there and trying to, poach the gators and just ruin the natural environment. And there's one woman who's like, she's married. She's pregnant, and she's got to do her job still because tough times, right? And she's the last one on this shift today because everybody else either ate some bad seafood or somebody spiked the punch or some other bad ingredients. So everybody else had to leave, and Mary's there by herself. And there's this like mafia queen, and she's like kind of like she runs the town, and she demands that Mary come to talk to her, and she calls Mary on the carpet in her luxurious trailer as she drinks her moonshine and lords over her swamp kingdom. What's happening is this woman's son is this ne'er-do-well just mess up, and he's out there just like high off mushrooms and causing a ruckus in the swamp, killing gators, killing people, doing all kinds of shit. And she wants Mary to go bring him home. And she kind of forces Mary to like toast it. I mean, like, drink this moonshine and we'll toast to it. Like, I'm pregnant. I don't give a fuck. Drink the moonshine. So she has to drink the damn whiskey, even though she's pregnant. And then she gets a call from somewhere out in the bayou saying, like, we got an emergency. So it turns out it is this woman's son starting shit, shooting up with his rifle and stuff. And Mary eventually has to kill that guy. But now she knows that she is kind of proper fucked because she has killed like the heir to the the swamp mafia, and she doesn't know how she's going to make it look, like an accident, because she does try to cover it up a little bit. She tries to make it seem like, she tried to get rid of the body. And there's like a thing at the end where she says like, somebody calls up and say, we found the body, and she's like shitting scared, thinking that, oh shit, they found that body and now my ass is out. And she's freaking out about that. This is such a well-written book. The art might not be for some people, but I think it does the job. It expresses the darkness and just the nastiness of being in the swamp and down there in the dirty south of Louisiana and trying to stop gator poachers and mafia queens and all that shit. Man, this is way better than I expected. The voice said kill, and I'm not sure where it's going to go. But man, it looks very good so far. So pick this up. This is one penultimate book that definitely paid off. So that's number 2. Number 2, but we try harder. Final book for this week. Oops. Oopsies. Yes, he did do a great job. Final book for this came out a few weeks ago. This was not a penultimate book, but it was kind of on my radar because it's written by Ed Brisson. This one is Wild Animals. It is number 1. It is written by Ed Brisson. The artist is Andy Kuhn, and color artist is D. Kniff from Connecticut. Any Kniff fans out there? The book designer is Camilo Sanchez. Letterer is Rob Jones. Logo designer Ed Brisson. My editor is Christina Harrington. So yeah, Wild Animals really resonated with me for a lot of reasons, man. I could relate to this poor kid. I have the video for that one too. This poor guy, God, he's had such a hard life. His mom is terminally ill. She's in the hospital, dying. And she's going over all these memories that they had of like, remember that rabbit I bought you that time? What was his name again? Like, Mom, I hated that fucking rabbit. The rabbit shit everywhere. They didn't want me to hold it, and I ended up taking it out. And but you don't tell her that because she's dying. You're like, yeah, Mom, good memory. Yeah, it's good. I'll see you when I get off work. Yeah, but yeah, it turns out rabbits don't make good pets because they're very deceptive. They're very cute animals, not good pets though. So he goes off to work. He works at this this 7-Eleven, like Quickie Mart kind of a thing. Before he gets there, though, he stops by the crib and finds out that the landlord is going to kick him and his mother and put all their shit out. And by the end of the week, if he doesn't get the money paid, you know it's not going to happen because they don't have any money coming in. And then he reminisces about how all this happened to him. Because what happened was his father was murdered by these crooked cops in this small town that was run by, of course, crooked cops and things like that. And they just let the cops go. I mean, they were proven innocent, or just they were adjudicated to be innocent or whatever. And the kid was he was actually burned because his mother had some like chicken grease on the stove when they came in to shoot his father. So he got disfigured, and his father got killed, and now his mom is dying. There's all these horrible things are happening to this poor guy, and he's just at the work at the mini mart, and then all these little fucking shithead kids come in to steal some beer, and it turns out the fucking kids end up just like beating the shit out of him. Like, what kind of a job is this? I mean, I'm not making any money. These kids come in there and gang up on him. And he just had enough already. And he gets the call, he couldn't even get to the hospital in time to see his mother had died before he got there. This guy's at the end of his rope. and he finds this box, this strong box in his mother's things, and he cracks it open. And inside this box is information about the cops who killed his father. All right, so his mother tried to keep it away from him, I guess, knowing what he might do once if he had that information. And once he gets that information, it's like, look, I got nothing left. I got nothing left to lose. I got nothing to live for. My shit's been evicted. I'm gonna go find these cops, and I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm just one kid, with a broken down car and nowhere to live and no money. But he goes on this mission to avenge his father. And man, that just hit me. It hit me in a special place, and I'm down with this to the end. I think it's a 4-part series. Wild Animals from Mad Cave Studios. They put out a lot of really good stuff. Man, this is the book of the week for me. It's like 3 weeks old, but still, I think the new one's not coming out for another couple of weeks. So, yeah, I recommend that. And that is your What's Good for this week. Hey, got some new people came in. Looks like Jenny's high on mushrooms. Right on. Right on. I mean, you bring some for the class. Thank you very much. I saw Phantom Beat somewhere in here. Where's Phantom Beat? There's IS Fergus. What's happening? Phantom Beat. Hey, there he is. Good to see you. Where you been, man? You back? There's not even. Hey, thank God. Thank God. What's up, Phil? Good to see you, man. So you meant you? Yeah. Well, I was thank man. Perish the thought, but you never know what's going to happen. All right, so now we can get to the previews. A lot of good stuff on the previews this week too. If I can do the share thing, get rid of this. I'm going to stop this and do something else. Please bear with me just one moment. Share screen and the new comics this week. Ta-da! All right, where are we here? Let's start at the top, if you don't mind. So many books. Absolute Green Lantern and Absolute Superman number 10. Oh, Ultimate Wolverine. Glad to see that's doing well too. I'm be dropping all the Ultimates. Doesn't matter. And since there's so many good indie books, I'm just going to go right to all the indie books and bypass all the other ones. Unless I see something that somebody in the chat wants to shout something out. Otherwise, we're going to be doing strictly indie stuff here. Starting with, shout out Marcus. Something is killing the children. The last issue, as Erica Slaughter's origin continues, there was a lot of information about Jessica. Jessica was Erica's mentor. And I love this way it's being told in flashback. Number 43 is going to continue that story in the series, I should say. Oh, a lot of good. Oh, look at this. This has got to be, this is Suspiria. Oh, do I not have this? I bet Marcus has this. The Suspiria, cover B. That's what I love about this series. They always have a lot of open order cover B books. That's a good one. Here is Dan Panosian. That's what I thought a Suspiria book was, but this is the Dan Panosian one here. Always good for a good cover, that Dan Panosian. And that's the Del Edra version of that one. And there's a few. This is Ricardo Lopez, Ramon Perez. There's the Lopez variant here. It's very anime inspired. All right. Look forward to that next week. down the list. Oh, World Tree. This is one of the coolest covers of World Tree. It seemed like this was on the list last week. Maybe not. World Tree number 16. This is dope. This is Fernando Blanco. I mean, fear has just morphed into this all powerful deity. It's so awesome. Clothes are so overrated, you know. It's funny to me how many people are offended by nudity, and a lot of people had a problem with the nudity in this issue. And it's not even about the nudity, you know. It's just about the end of the world brought on by this woman who conquered the undernet. What is this? This is Paul Azacita. This is what was he doing recently? He's doing the seasons. That's what he's doing. Yeah, that's another great book that's out there. All right. Coming on down the list here. Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe again. Red Hulk. Confrontational. Why be so confrontational? Secret Six. Superior event. Superior. So judgmental. Where are I gonna go after that? Napalm Lullaby is back. I was reading that for a while. This one, Godzilla Escape the Dead Zone. As you know, I am not, well, you might not know it, but I am not a huge Godzilla fan. But this caught my attention. And here's why. What's going on inside the Dead Zone? Find out in the second book of the Kaisei era? The Kaisei era, I think is what it is. IDW's new connected Godzilla universe. Inside the new IDW Godzilla universe, there exists a mystery larger than any other. What is the Dead Zone? One might say. Inhabitants of this new world know the Dead Zone to be a walled-off portion of the Pacific Northwest, sequestered after the most disastrous Godzilla attack the country has ever faced. The government would have its citizens believe that nothing is still alive inside the Dead Zone, but do you believe that? There are stories of a man, or rather a half kaiju, half man, who travels freely throughout the Dead Zone. Some say he can even kill a kaiju. Some say he's not the only of his kind. Journey into this mysterious new world in Godzilla Escape the Dead Zone with Eisner-nominated writing duo Griffin Sheridan and Ethan S. Parker, Kill Your Darlings, and fan favorite artist Pablo Tanica, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Sea Serpent Air. Now, I guess the first thing that caught my eye was this gorgeous cover. I don't know what I love about it so much, but it has that look of kind of like Cheech Wizard, meets Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, meets Godzilla kind of a thing. So I just blindly, okay, not a big Godzilla fan, but I gotta have this. And this is Pablo Tanica's work on that cover here. So he's to blame for me buying this book. Rob Weiss variant. It's Weiss. Rob Weiss. And this is another Tanica cover. This is it's an open order, I think. A lot of good ones here. Hide your eyes, Phil. Yeah, this one I'm talking about here. I think that's a good one. What's up there? Kodzik? Kodzik, hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Yeah, this is something I think may transcend the whole Godzilla thing for me, and there's a lot of good comments. Someone's very excited. I love the concept of human monster slash kaiju hybrid, especially if they're like runways of some sort. Hoping this shit is good. The cover looks promising already. Amen to that. Oh, I almost forgot. This is the Collector's Paradise, the comic book, Patrick Horvath, Connecting Virgin variant. He of Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. You can see he did it in his storybook style. Very nice. I don't know how I would get this. I had to go to Collector's Paradise, whatever the heck that is, and get it from them. Well, we'll see about that. But this book for sure is caught my attention. Farmhands coming on down to the final issue. I think this is the last run of Farmhand. Oh yeah. Godzilla. Remember Godzuki? It was like this thing years ago. You guys are probably too young to remember that. Like the younger, either the child of Godzilla, or it was just like some mini Godzilla. Cruel Universe is being rebooted. Let's see what they're doing with the new run of Cruel Universe. Still got those great covers. And a great creative team as well. Whether future or past, Earth or distant worlds, no man can outrun the infinite singularity within us all. Fear. Join this doomed expedition into the cold, unforgiving galaxies beyond our own as nihilistic navigators Charles Adler, Jay Hoffman, Kano, and Nocenti. Oh, she's got juice. David Rubin and Greg Pak smash the laws of science and splice the immortal EC Comics genome into a new breed of parasitic extraterrestrial tales with an endless appetite for pain. Plus, as an added bonus, a nerve-rendering science fiction classic from the EC vaults, painstakingly remastered and newly restored to its original coloring. Nice. Beyond space, beyond oblivion, there is something vast, unsympathetic, and envious that yearns to consume us all in this cruel universe. Let's make it work for it. Let's make it work for it, shall we? Yeah. How many other good covers we got here? There's like a Tom Fowler. Yeah, you don't want to get that in your space helmet. Not a good sign. With Montez, this is an homage cover, so it's been done before. I don't know what issue of what EC book it's from, but those creatures with the snouts look kind of familiar. Look vaguely familiar. And this isn't my favorite here. This is like the 1 in 100 Liam Sharp Squatront variant. Squatront. Okay, that's a thing, I guess. I don't know, but there's your Squatron variant. And that's what that's all I have to say about that. Okay. Coming on down. Bitterroot, number 5. I think that should have been out last week. Maybe it got delayed. Hellboy in Love. I'm so glad they're reprinting that Detective 880, because people talk about, oh, just a cover, you just a cover horror. You're buying all these covers. What's the point of that? What is that book known for other than just its cover? I mean, it's not a key issue, but this is a very expensive book. This is a hard to get, by the Jock cover, and it's such a classic cover, man. And it's just, you never know. Sometimes I just have a feeling about a cover. I buy it like, you know what? I don't care if this is never worth a cent. I love this cover. Or sometimes it blows up like this one here. It's another Batman cover. Of course, there's a Batman cover too, because Batman is so popular. So Yeah, they got a lot of people bought that cover as opposed to an indie comic with a great cover. I'm saying, which there are only 3 sports: bullfighting, motor racing, and mountaineering. All the rest are merely games. Ernest Hemingway. There you go. There's a man who blew his own head off with a shotgun. Take it from him. Snout robot from us. That must have been the name of it, Phil. I swear. You look vaguely familiar, you snout robots. Monkey Meat, number 5, the summer batch finally coming to an end. Here's one. Blink and you'll miss it. From Boom Studios. Melody Nelson and Jesse Harmon fell in love long ago in the tiny town of Perennial Harbor. But since they parted ways, that place has grown stranger and stranger. Everything is just as it was decades ago, and the strained smiles of its residents mask a bizarre secret. When Melody's life begins to unravel and she finds herself slipping backwards in time, she must uncover the truth behind the mystery before it destroys her, and the only one she's ever cared for. A mind-bending new fairy tale begins from writers Ethan S. Parker and Griffin Sheridan, who did Kill Your Darlings, debut artist Keith Browning, and colorist Brad Simpson, who did Stray Dogs. So yeah, this looks like it could have potential. It was going to Kill Your Darlings, Christian Ward variant. Like a little, almost like funhouse mirror. I could use maybe the warp tool a little bit there to make his artwork look like that. That's very cool. And then there's Rebecca Puebla. That's cool. And there's a few other incidents that are just like reprints of all the rest of the other covers without trade dress. This could be something you might want to look for on New Comic Book Day. Not sure if I pre-ordered it or not, but I'll be looking for it. All right. Are we back to the main page? Yes, we are. And we come on down the list. Charmaine the God presents Illuminati number 2. First one was worth looking into. I mean, it was definitely worth checking out issue number 2. Whatever happened to the Crimson Justice? I don't know. A few more down here. The Hero Trade Project. This is another bad idea. Comic. They come up with, this is the wordy one. Now, the Hero Trade, the original Hero Trade, was their first book, blew up big time. Still pretty hard to find, and I think still worth a pretty penny. Hot on the heels of the launch of the Hero Trade, Heroes for Sale trade paperback, which I saw in the store today, it's like about $12. Almost bought that one too. New York Times best-selling writer Matt Kent joins forces with the world-renowned artist David Lapham. Wow. Once more to bring you this thrilling 64-page issue, a big book, the first in a 2-part action-packed epic, Project Chimera, the biggest hero trade story yet. As lead agents at Project Chimera, Hank and Ingrid are tasked with a vital mission to keep Trey and Tina, twin teenagers with world-destroying powers, in check. Under Hank and Ingrid's watchful eye, the teens remain locked away in a tightly secure black site, conditioned to believe they cannot survive the outside world and unleash only when lethal force is required. Hank and Ingrid have always kept to the mission and followed orders. That is until now. Trey is beginning to unravel. becoming a bloodthirsty berserker when he's let off the leash, leaving Hank and Ingrid shaken. And Trina, once the model asset, is starting to question everything, with whispers of a mole embedded deep within the organization threatening to bring the entire operation down. Hank and Ingrid find themselves tangled between duty, deception, and a forbidden affair that could cost them their lives. And this is the Rob Liefeld. I think I may have pre-ordered this one. I may have actually ordered the fucking Rob Liefeld cover. Just because it looks, it's the first time I've ever seen Liefeld draw something not a superhero. I may have done that. I'm not sure which one I ordered or not, but maybe I did. Can't swear to it, but I think I did. Yeah. Yeah. I with Matt Kent and David Lapham, two guys whose work I love and respect, I will absolutely be getting this from the LCS for sure. You had the Hero Trader. Actually, I think that's the one I'm talking about. Yeah, that one's worth some it's worth a couple, 2-3 nickels to rub together right there, I think. I remember Tom had a graded one on his wall. Yeah, those are kind of valuable. It's probably the most valuable, like say ENIAC #1, probably more than ENIAC #1. It's more valuable than that, money-wise. Well, ENIAC was a very good story too. So, don't forget your briefcase #2. I did like that. That was a good story. We Don't Kill Spiders, Season of the Witch. I did love the original version of that story. And see what we got here left. Bob Robot Todd, #3 from Farrell Dalrymple. Now, a block of stuff here, like Tama #1. I've seen Tama #1. Maybe people are on Instagram a lot can verify this. I feel like I've seen this plugged on Instagram with ads before. So it's from Panic Entertainment, but I'm not sure there's like some money behind this or not. I have seen this on Instagram. Anybody else seen that out there? Let me know. The virtual pet that wants to kill them all. That sound familiar? So to collect them all, we kill them all. Panic Entertainment unleashes his debut title, Tama. We all had them. Virtual pets like Tamagotchis, Neopets, and Digimon. But what if, stay with me, after years of neglect, one returned for revenge? When a grieving, lonely teen stumbles upon an old virtual pet system, he finds comfort. But when gruesome deaths begin to follow, he wonders, could his digital companion be responsible? Tama mixes the nostalgia of virtual pets with the generational phenomena of Pokemon. So it's kind of like a Pokemon, the Gremlins thing, kind of a thing. And it's got like, the second printing, it's got like a card, kind of a theme going on here. And 1 in 10 has a Tony Fleeks cover. Yeah, he's definitely going for the nostalgic, the video game nostalgia aspect, I think. Insane slogan. I'm in. This feels way below Nguyen's pay grade. So it feels like Nguyen could do better, I guess, than this. It's kind of a diss to the project, but still, hey, a job was a job. Yeah, I did see this. I'm pretty sure I saw this on Instagram. Someone was talking about this. The most I've paid for a book, says Phil, and the most I've sold a book for. Really? Well, good for you. You should got your loot back. That's amazing. Very cool. Very cool. Hey, what's up? Keeping up with Sanchez. Welcome. Okay, we're coming very close to that time for the Penultimate Book. It won't be long. But first, Ancestral Recall, another book from Ahoy Comics. Black history. For painter Melvin Waring, it's an actual superpower. When Melvin's wife mysteriously disappears, he must call on the most important black figures of all time to help him in his search. A gripping new saga with, or should say from, two Milestone Initiative members, writer Jordan Clark and artist Adigan Ilhan. Milestone Universe, The Shadow Cabinet. So this is two Milestone, the DC project where they had a lot of black creators. Y'all not familiar with that? Create this universe like Static and was that some other characters. I put my mind right. There's an Iron Man type character. There was a Superman like character. Shadow Cabinet was one of them. So this is recreating that, and I love this. Kari Randolph. This is the one I really, really love. This Kari Randolph cover B variant. If I can find this, I will definitely pick this one up. Always been a fan of his. Yep. And check out the story while I'm at it. So win-win. Satisfy my cover fetish and check out the story. Oh, geez, did I ever actually share that story? Maybe I didn't even actually share the screen. Oops. All right, so Ancestral Recall. There we go. Yeah, this is the Kari Randolph cover I was speaking of here. Thought Marcus would give me shit for not sharing the screen. Like, we can't see it. Where the hell is it, old man? Here it is. So I'll be looking for this cover for sure. Oh, back to the correct screen again. All right. Love Struck. This is something that myself and someone else in the chat thought was actually Love Sick from one of my favorite stories from a couple of years ago. It's not Love Sick. It is Love Struck. When the jaded private investigator Triss accidentally kills Cupid during a botched wedding proposal, she's forced to team up with his ghost to help people fall in love or face jail time for manslaughter. The only problem, she doesn't believe in love. Love Struck weaves humor and heart, taking readers on a journey through the streets of Los Angeles as Triss and Cupid help others find love while confronting their own beliefs about relationships. With its unique premise and character-driven storytelling, Love Struck offers a fresh perspective on modern romance that will resonate with readers long after they turn the final page. Love Struck has been optioned by Ryan Reynolds, a.k.a. Deadpool production company, like we don't know who Ryan Reynolds is, maximum effort for development into a TV series. This is a thing I found about some people are so cynical. You know, you're entitled to your own opinion. I get it, you know. But some people were like so turned off in the comments here that there's like 15 replies to this one thing. They talk about how they were down with the whole idea until they saw that Ryan Reynolds had already optioned it. Like, oh, nope, gotta pass. You could just, you know, give it a chance. I mean, so what has been optioned? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, we're always looking for some reason to not like something, you know, rather than giving something a chance and saying, you know what, this might be okay, even though it's been optioned already, you know, by a big Hollywood star, and a lot of other indie comics have not, true, so they don't have a chance. But this could be good, or it could suck. At least give it a chance, though. I mean, to be fair, it does sound like something out of a Mad TV sketch or something like that. Oh, I killed Cupid. Now I'm going to have to go with this ghost and find love. You know, I don't believe in love. Now, this is Alonso Molina Gonzalez, cover B. This is the ghost of Cupid and this woman who cannot find love, I guess hunting for love. I love the frayed edge kind of a cover there. I mean, I love that kind of an effect. This is a 1 in 10 also. Alonso Molina Gonzalez, the mugshot version. The mugshot thing is endless. I mean, you could there's so many mugshot covers you could do. It just never gets old. I'm calling it right now. And this one is the AMP web store, Aranja Devasarunda. Okay, maybe, hopefully. Not, I apologize. Have a nice cover too. So yeah, I would, even though it's been optioned already, I would give it a shot. I'm just like that. Whitey Comics fans, absolutely, Phil. I mean, my God, there's drama in every community. It's not just us, but we, we create drama sometimes where there is none because we must, especially on things like Threads and X. X is dead to me now. But on these online platforms where people just like type into their phones all day and let out their feelings. I get it. That's fine. But just looking for something, man. Just looking for a reason to be unhappy. Just looking for for a reason to to say nay, rather than looking for a reason to say yay. Yeah, write that down. That's deep. Geiger Comics? Not today, but we do like our Geiger Comics from time to time. From time to time, that is. All right, so are we there yet? Are we there yet? I think we're there now. All right, so we are at the time for the penultimate book. Almost in a normal time zone. So let's get the penultimate book going and let's go. Yes, sirree. We are here. Finally. For the penultimate book. And this week, that book is called Cul-de-sac. And I was talking about the issue of Planet Death that I picked up earlier today. And let me read the description about this thing here first, because first things first. New York Times best-selling writer and master of the macabre, Mike Carey, makes his long-awaited return to comic books, combining his powers with groundbreaking fine art illustrator Jonathan Weishak to deliver a nightmarish new vision for the horror genre. What lurking evil lies at the end of the cul-de-sac? Nestled in a tucked-away corner of sleepy suburbia, the Kingsley, Harriman, and Ortega families seem like any other close-knit neighbors. So nothing seems amiss when Mrs. Kingsley piles all the neighbors' kids into the family RV for their annual summer campout. But in the dark of the woods, she unleashes a grisly, blood-curdling display, revealing their family's shocking secret. Their parents are vampires, and they're eager to pass on their legacy. Now the children must choose to join them and revel in their awesome dark powers, or to live out their lives as mortals. But when they return home, they confront a gruesome scene. Their parents dead on the floor, brutally murdered by an elite squad of vampire hunters. And the hunters, they're looking to finish the job. Now the kids are on the run, chased by vampire hunters, the police, and even a shadowy cabal of their fellow vampires as they search for answers to unlock the secret of what they really are before their fates are sealed forever. Forever. Oh man, this looks so cool. It's only 48 pages, $5.99. Once again, bad idea. Always with a great talent and usually very great books. This issue of Planet Death actually is which is a very like a 48-page book as well, and it has a preview of cul-de-sac in it, and it's a pretty extensive preview as well. So I can make the thing bigger here. This is the preview, a preview of the cul-de-sac, the artwork in cul-de-sac. This is so amazing. I mean, it's like it seems like 12 pages, like a 12-page preview. It looks really intense, and man, Bad Idea has some really great stuff. And I tell you, yes, it's a little Sam Keith like, yes. That is awesome. And that main cover is the same also, man. I love that. I'm getting all right, so we're gonna get back to the thing here in 1 second. Oh, here we go. Yeah, here we go. All right, cul-de-sac. Cul-de-sac has some other covers as well. The one that has the one that Phil and I both like, of course, but Jonathan Weishak. This is the chromium. You can see the chrome in the corner there. And then there is the Tony Fleeks, the cursed mirror variant. And that definite Tony Fleek style. And then there is the Ramon Villalobos cover here with the vampire children. Always a scary thought. Andrea Sorrento. Yeah, vampire books, man. They roll. And that's when we look at the 1 in 100 Jim Mahfood. Now, I'm not a huge fan of all Jim Mahfood stuff, but this one I like a lot. This looks pretty dope. This one he nails. You Jim Mahfood fans are out there. Yeah, a little bit. She just talking about her neck work. She's even having some problem with her neck. Yeah, chiropractors, man, good to have. So that's it. That is your penultimate book. That is Cul-de-Sac, coming next week. It'll probably be on time too, because Bad Idea, yeah, usually make the deadlines now. They're coming out pretty regularly. So that is your penultimate book for this week, Cul-de-Sac, from Mike Carey and Jonathan Weishak. Okay, coming on down the list here. Last couple of things we're going to look at. Roy. Roy is actually from Fantagraphic Books, and it is part of the Hernandez family, the Jaime and Gilbert Hernandez, who do Love and Rockets. This is the new generation of that. This is their, I think is it Gilbert's daughter? Let's read the blurb and see. Yeah, the family, the family's role. Yeah, this is basically Gilbert's daughter is joining this character, and it's like the next generation of Love and Rockets. Very cool. From Fantagraphics. So now, it was the penultimate book. This is actually not where I wanted to stop. I wanted to actually make this one my last book. Was it Six Shots, number 2 already? Or number 2, or 1 already came out? I missed it if it did. Where is it? Here it is. The final book, for real, is going to be The Jungle. And it's from Uncivilized Books. I'm pretty sure that's who published The Sickness. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's what also gave us The Sickness, which I also loved. The humans step off the backdrop, or the blacktop, I should say, into the big house. Johnny Mara and Nada face the harsh struggles of life inside California's third oldest and meanest prison, Sunland Valley, an ironic name, correctional, better known to inmates as the jungle. Forced to acclimate to the vicious world behind bars without broads, bud, or bikes, they face off against a dirty warden, crooked screws, a crazy Christian cult, mafioso thugs, and worst of all, their own inner demons. I don't know. I think the dirty warden and the mafioso thugs might be worse than all that, but hey, what do I know? Be trapped with my own demons and not have those guys around. Here's a B cover from Skinner. You don't have a first name. Principal Skinner. Up yours, children. Yeah. Principal Skinner has done this cover here, so it's a pretty cool cover. This is from, Uncivilized Books. I will look for this. This might be good. I mean, this sickness came out of nowhere. And this is 52 pages for $10. Not bad. Could be worse. Yeah, so that is your final book of the evening. And that's going to do it for this book. The big full screen there. Sorry to shock you folks, but it's just me here now. Oh, hey, thanks for everybody who stopped by. Thanks to I.S. Fergus for coming by and talking about his book. I will put the link down in the description below. It's already in the chat, but you folks watching on the replay probably can't see that right now, so I'll put the link in the description so everyone can see it. And Marcus will probably be back next week, I imagine, hopefully. JP didn't do a show this week either, so I'm wondering if he just took a week off or whatever. Usually he's on there, and he used to do his FOC and chill thing, but he's taking a hiatus from that. But hey, in a week we'll be back doing the same thing. At least I'll be here. Hopefully I'll be here. Thanks for everybody that stopped by. Thanks to everyone who is watching right now on the replay or who watched previously on the replay, whenever you may be watching this. We appreciate you all and we love you all. So thanks very much. And as I always say, God willing and the creek do not rise. I will be back, hopefully with my comic son or maybe a different co-host or something like that. Or at the very least, you guys will be here too. And that's the important thing. And so until that time, you guys, peace and love. Peace and love. Hey, take care of yourself and each other's, and we'll see you next time. Peace out.
We love you, Denver! City by the Bay! John Denver!
Is a fire really necessary?
Ask them.